What it is, fight fans and family, it's your boy Zan. You watching Stand on Business Boxing. So let me go and clear up the miscommunication in my last video. I was totally wrong about Steven Espinosa being on record saying the contracts that they might have seen were not contracts at all. He was actually quoting somebody and saying that the quote wasn't true. Definitely misread it. Very misleading, and I think a lot of other people made the same mistake, but ain't no skin off my back, man. I just got to verify more. I got to get better, and that's what I'm gonna do. But on the side note, man, what I really want to talk about in this video is Anthony Joshua coming down to Texas to train with the man Derrick James. He possibly might be Anthony Joshua's new trainer, and at face value, man, I gotta say, hey, this is something he should have been did. As far as style, there is no better match for Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. Anthony Joshua, very gifted boxer, got all of the good tools you need to be a big, dominant heavyweight. He just lacks a little bit of head movement, and sometimes he doesn't stick to his game plan, and he gets caught up. That's how he lost to Andy Ruiz the first time around and got knocked out. But like I said, man, I think this is a very good match. See, Derrick James is a trainer, the trainer of Errolspencejr Jr., Jermell Charlo, and Frank Martin out of Texas. We know Jermell Charlo just became undisputed at 154 after stopping Castano, and Errolspencejr Jr. speaks for itself. We know about Errolspencejr Jr. three belts in one of the deepest weight divisions in boxing. And Errolspencejr Jr. himself is a very technically sound, traditional boxer. He doesn't do anything flashy, but he does everything well. He comes in behind the jab, beautiful body work, and his work rate is next to, I don't think anybody else in boxing has a work rate like Errolspencejr Jr. His engine is amazing. I know in the Mikey Garcia fight, he was able to throw 1,000 punches. So that just tells you about the man's engine. But I think this is a very good match for Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua is a traditional boxer. A lot of power, technically sound. He just lacks head movement. And he doesn't know, I feel like he has issues when knowing when to press on the gas and get people out of there. He picks the wrong time to do them. He just came off 2 losses to Alexander Usyk, which is a hell of a boxer himself. We know Alexander Usyk was undisputed at cruiserweight, and he moved up to heavyweight, beat Derek Chisora, then straight on to Anthony Joshua, beat him twice, outboxed him. I think that Anthony Joshua could have had him out of there in the second fight. Maybe not the first fight. He did hurt him in the first fight, but in the second fight, definitely I think he could have had him out of there. He made a switch from the first fight to the second fight to the trainer Robert Garcia. I don't think that was the best switch, because Robert Garcia, he mostly trains Latin American boxers, Mexican style fighters and stuff like that. And Anthony Joshua, that's not his style. He's a traditional standard boxer. Nothing real fancy, a lot of power, good speed, good ring IQ, and he knows how he has a good jab. That's what Derrick James is about. When you see Spence on the pads, you see Jermell Charlo on the pads, or even Frank Martin in immediate workouts, you don't see these guys doing flashy combos and all type of 14 and 15 punch combos on the pads. They working on fundamentals, nice, solid jabs, 1 punch at a time, and traditional boxing. And I think that this is a perfect match for somebody like Anthony Joshua, who that's his bread and butter. Derrick James is only going to make him better, and he's going to, I think, work out the kinks in Anthony Joshua's game. And the only kinks I think Anthony Joshua really has, man, is he does not move his head. He does not move his head. And sometimes he gets caught up in the moment, you know. We saw him gas out almost against Klitschko, because he got excited about hurting him and almost got stopped. We saw him get knocked out by Andy Ruiz. When he knocked him down, he think he can press on the gas, and Andy Ruiz was still there. A lot of amateur fights in Andy Ruiz's background, so he was still a live dog, and he ended up stopping Anthony Joshua. So I think him joining Derrick James' squad will really allow him to perfect his craft. He really might be have another dominant run at heavyweight with a trainer like Derrick James, and it's actually trainer year for 2022. He's going to be in the gym with some real killers, man. Some real killers. Not saying he's going to spar the guys, but he's going to be in there with Jermell Charlo. Frank Martin, we know Frank Martin just had the biggest win in his career last year against Michelle Rivera. Just beat the man up. Very lopsided. I didn't even see that coming because Michelle Rivera can fight. Frank Martin is something to talk about too. That's another video in itself. The guy's very, very, very talented. But to each his own, man. I think this is a real good switch for Anthony Joshua. He needs to refocus himself. He can be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world, and I look forward to see what comes out of this arrangement with Derrick James and them guys down there in Texas for Anthony Joshua. He will be coming out to the U.S. from what I'm hearing, and that's a good move for him, man. He needs to refocus himself. Just a couple tweaks to his game, and I think he could be in there with the big guys. Personally, I never had him beating like a Deontay Wilder, because to beat a Deontay Wilder, you have to have a lot of movement. You got to have good movement. You're not moving your head, or you're not keeping the jab in his face. Deontay Wilder's going to get you out of there. There ain't no guy that's ever got in the ring with Deontay Wilder ever not been knocked down, and that's Tyson Fury included. I think Bermane Stevens is the only guy who made it 12 rounds with him and didn't get knocked down in a fight. But we saw what happened in the second fight. He annihilated Bermane Stevens. Bermane Stevern. I don't know how to say the man's name. I'm butchering it, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He was a former WBC heavyweight champion before Deontay Wilder beat him. But man, I'm excited to see what Anthony Joshua going to do, man. He definitely has the youth and the I want to say the skills and the talent to be a 3-time heavyweight champion. He's not too old. I think that they're going to train him on his cardio a bit. We might see a slimmer version of Anthony Joshua coming into the ring. I know historically, Errolspencejr Jr. used to have his strength training with Blu-ray Fitness. And they switched to another guy, and they stopped him from weightlifting just to slim him down, make sure he keeps the cardio he has in the ring, the speed, and he's able to stay on the gas for all those 12 rounds. I see if Spence is in the gym with him and really trying to help him with his fundamentals, and if they train it side by side, we might see a real monster coming out of that camp with Anthony Joshua. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens, man. I got him beating, if he does good in this fight he has coming up with Derrick James as his trainer. If he fight Alexander Usyk a third time, I would give him a slight edge, because Derrick James knows how to make adjustments in the ring. He knows and he peeps and he identifies the problems that his fighters have with other fighters, and they come out better every round. You can see it. And that's what Joshua needs right now, man. He needs to be in there with some guys who are world class, some guys that are on the pound for pound list. We know ESPN hate Jermell Charlo. That's the only reason he ain't on there. But definitely one of the top 5 pound for pound boxers, if we being real out there, you know. But to each his own, man. It's your boy Zan, the Stand on Business Boxing. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate the love y'all been showing me as far as subscribing and giving me good feedback. I enjoy when people don't see eye to eye with me. I'm always going to come at you with facts. And if I'm wrong about something, just like the video that I posted before, Buddy came to the channel. He's like, man, you're wrong about the Steven Espinosa. And it's something I had already found out, but I would definitely admit I'm wrong. You know, I'm not perfect at this. I'm just getting started. So the good and bad criticism is welcome. As long as we being men at the end of the day, or adults or women, you know what I'm saying? So to each his own, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen out of that camp, and I'll be back with another one. Peace.